Hey, guys. Hey.
ROMEOs.
How are we doing?
Very good.
Good. Good. Let's take this opportunity to welcome back our viewers and listeners. Thanks for joining us once again. Appreciate your continued support.
Did I unplug something? Never mind. Hey.
Are you unplugged?
Yes. Had
What
to
are
check.
we going to do with this guy? What are we going to do with this guy?
You asked me a question, I
He's part of
Yes,
the
you
deal.
Yeah, we'll do an intervention after the show.
Nothing helps.
All right, guys. Thought it'd be interesting for us today to talk about pet peeves.
And he already has his hand up.
My pet peeve is you didn't tell people to subscribe.
So go expand on that thought.
Hey guys, we'd like you to like and subscribe because we need it. We're begging.
Yeah.
Please.
Want to hear from you.
Yeah, that
Send us
too.
your ideas, your suggestions for topics.
That's it, exactly. And we should talk about
Pet peeves. So is one of your pet peeves the fact that some people actually view content without subscribing?
well, they don't have to subscribe, but I would definitely would like it if they would like. Subscribe is a nice second step. But at a minimum, if you enjoy what you're listening
At a minimum,
to,
view.
For the record, I'm thankful that you're joining us. Thank you very much. Okay, so pet peeves. You guys good with that?
Let's go.
I'm good.
All right.
So is it our pet peeves? Is it other people's pet peeves?
Our
is
pet
it,
peeves.
Is it,
Well, I
is
think
it-
better-
is it
better to-
Romeo pet peeves?
Better to
in
speak
general?
from
Romeo pet
your
peeves.
your individual perspective as opposed to what others.
Yeah, as a Romeo.
I'm dying to hear Dominic's pet peeves.
No.
Okay, so get us started.
Oh,
Dominic.
Dominic.
Which one?
That's what I mean. That's going to be a list.
Get us started.
Nanny. Okay. People that don't return their shopping cart where they're supposed to. Just leave it into a parking
Wow.
spot.
I did not think you'd be starting with shopping
Well,
carts.
I just, because I think to me it shows you're so pretentious that you're too, this is too below you to return it where you're supposed to and either damage cars are parked or use a parking spot to leave your cart. That to me. So that is one, it's up there.
Okay.
I think that they're doing that as a job creation thing so that
There
they
you
can
go.
have a kid that now you have to pay
The
someone
kid-
to go and
The kid has to go get it anyways in the shopping cart.
bin or receptacle
What do you call
or
it?
whatever.
Yeah. Central. So, no, it's
the cart parking.
exactly. It's being pretentious.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
So cars.
Everybody else is below you. You can just leave it there. Screw you.
So when you go shopping, does that bother you more than the people who actually
Leave their
park
carts?
their cars between, or
Diagonal.
Straggling.
either
parking.
diagonal or
Yeah.
not straight
Yeah,
over
yeah,
two
yeah.
spots?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's up there, but it's just that I hate people who are pretentious, that they're above everybody else.
It's because he can key the car that's parked badly, but he doesn't know who left that thing, so he doesn't know who to blame.
So a couple of times I took the cart and put it behind the car when they're trying to pull out.
There you go.
Because you saw them do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You put the cart behind. Did they see you?
Well, they have a camera.
Okay.
Okay. Or they just ran it over.
Well, they ran it over. It's their problem.
And you weren't disguised at the time.
No, I don't.
Okay, so that's an interesting one.
Okay, Aki, you're going
So, okay.
You're going to take us in a
So,
completely
right.
different
So
direction.
let me macro. Let's go a little bit macro here. I'm just sick and tired of no sense of privacy. Everybody thinks when they're on the cell phone,
Wow.
there's, that they think they're in their living room, right? So these people, I'm tired, you're on the sidewalk at the park, in the gym, and you hear their whole friggin' life story. I don't want to know, about the girlfriend that they think is cheating on them. I don't want to know about the breast enhancement surgery that they're waiting to do. It's mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling how people have. There's no more like privacy. Everything is in the open. Everything is in public. And when people are on cell phones, it's like they think the world is their living room. And I'm so fed up with that.
I don't mind so much the calls. It's when they're watching like YouTube videos or shows out loud. And everybody has to listen, or music. You have to listen to their music.
No, but I mean everything. They're talking about their relationship with their girlfriend. They're talking about their medical issues. Everything's out in the open.
But
Why
I
did
would
you point to me with medical issues?
But I would defer.
We're just starting the episode. We'll get to that, I'm sure.
I'm a sick motherfucker.
I would defer about the breast enhancement.
I'll hug you.
So I'm listening to you and I'm thinking life has become a reality TV series.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So lack of boundaries.
Exactly.
It's like everyone's in their own
Or-
in their own headspace. It doesn't matter who's around them. They're just going to be them. You be you.
Right. You know.
There's something to be said for authenticity.
Entitlement.
Oh, but-
entitlement.
Okay. But
There
no,
we
that
go.
there's not much to say about.
You know, or you know, at the gym, right? I don't know if you guys, if you had this experience, like he's blasting his music.
Yeah.
He's blasting his music. He or
Exactly.
she, you know, they're blasting their
Yeah.
own music. There's like another, 50 people working out,
Exactly.
and we're all, listening to their music.
Was it good music?
No, it's
Nah,
real.
fuck, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. No,
Aki
but that's
swore.
that's beside
I think
the
it's
point.
bothering him.
Yeah, that's beside. I mean, just common sense. Like have respect.
exactly.
You're not in your living room. You're in a public
So
place.
you're putting so many things into the pot. Is it the privacy issue?
Thanks, guys.
Is it the lack of respect?
Very therapeutic.
Is it- what-
All of the above. It's
always-
very therapeutic.
The bottom line is always lack of respect, whether it's a shopping cart or a guy using his cell phone.
Lack of respect. There we go.
there you go.
Underlying.
Yeah, that's it.
underlying
No
cause.
respect. or consideration
no
for
boundaries.
others. Yeah.
No boundaries. There's no boundaries anymore. People
Lack
don't
of-
see boundaries.
Well, boundaries doesn't describe it quite the same way. I like the lack of respect and consideration for
That's
everyone.
it.
I think that's the underlying in most issues of people not liking what other people are doing. It's like guys that are in the passing lane or the left lane of the highway that are just stuck there and don't want to move out of the way. It's like people that wait until the last moment to cut into a lane that was backed up, so everyone's been waiting their turn, and then someone goes to the front of the line and cuts in.
Or at Costco, right? There's a long lineup, right? And they're waiting. We're all waiting. We have our cards. We're ready to and there's just one, jerk who's just, fumbling for their card and to make their payment and delaying everybody when you've had 10 minutes to be ready to pay.
Oh my God! Look
The
at this! Look at
anger.
I
I'm
agree.
sure there's a vein that's going to pop
This
at
is
some
very
point.
good. Let's keep it going. This is very therapeutic. Thank you.
Wow.
I love you guys for this.
wow. Okay.
Who would have thought?
So you're like a
Look
a
at
jumble of
hey,
nerves.
I try to be, we're all
Not the
courteous.
community guy we thought he
Romeos
was.
are courteous. Romeos were courteous. We're civilized. We know how to get along with people.
Not always.
We know how to
Not
get
always.
along
Not
with
always.
people. Yes,
Not
we
always.
do. Yes, we do.
Well, you're demonstrating otherwise, but that's okay.
Wow. Okay.
But we know how to get along with people. So, I mean, that should be the standard. I mean, a little consideration, folks. Is that asking for too much?
Yeah, it is.
I
Well,
guess.
clearly, based on what you're describing, your
Well,
experience.
go ahead. You didn't share with us. Go ahead. What your pet peeves? What gets you going?
There's probably a laundry list.
Let's go.
I would say, well, lack of respect and compassion would be high on my list. The other one is hypocrisy.
Okay.
Hypocrisy just rubs me the wrong way.
So every politician.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But in
Okay.
general.
But in general, so in life, hypocrites just
Yeah, whether it's, do as I say, and then those people behave in an entirely inconsistent fashion.
priests. Okay, got it. Next.
Okay, his words, not mine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to refrain from targeting anyone specifically.
Oh, well,
But yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm not. So okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just we're surrounded by it.
So hypocrites, people with no integrity.
Look, even in business.
So lack of integrity.
What I consider the core values. We touched on respect, so lack of integrity, lack of honesty, the hypocrisy. But hypocrisy in particular rubs me the wrong way.
Okay.
I recall on more than one occasion hearing people within a corporation or business setting who are articulating values and the importance of them to new recruits. And lo and behold, you look at how they behave and it's completely inconsistent.
Yep. Well,
As if they think that the words that are on the plaque that's hung in the lobby matter more than the behavior they're exhibiting day to day.
yep.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ones that really gets to me.
So the problem is really human beings.
No, it's not. It's not human.
Well,
Yeah, because it's the behaviors that they're exhibiting which are non-social, collectively not
Inconsiderate
inconsiderate and selfish.
And
The
selfish.
selfishness of people
and arrogant.
And it seems to me, I don't know if it's true or not, but it seems to me that over time, the sense of entitlement is causing people to behave in more and more selfish ways.
well, I'm going to disagree
right?
with
And
you.
look at the whole Karen thing, right?
Yes, but I'm going to disagree with you in that I don't think it's limited to human beings. Because a lot of things you've just described, I can tell you more than one occasion where I'm out in my backyard and there's a freaking mosquito that thinks that he's entitled to my blood and is completely disrespectful.
But that's nature. That's nature.
So I'm just saying, yes, it's not just a people thing.
Boy, you're really
Okay.
sensitive.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
really
yeah,
Where did
sensitive.
that come from?
Pat is really sensitive. Sensitive Pat.
But at least that mosquito is not a hypocrite.
Oh no,
That's
you're right.
nature.
You're right.
He's not a hypocrite
No.
and is doing what nature intended for that mosquito to do.
You were referring to hypocrisy.
A hypocrisy.
On hypocrisy, I agree with you. Some of the other aspects of behavior, no, I think that
No, selfishness. That mosquito is not being selfish.
Animal life, plant life.
No, no.
Oh,
very
speaking of
selfish.
animal life, here's one.
Just wants to eat.
Speaking of animal life, in a restaurant,
Yes.
the pet having a chair, a seat at the table.
Oh, well, we should do an episode on pets.
That is,
Yes.
come on.
Well, that's okay. Depends on the pet.
So are you saying pets?
Elaborate.
So pets being treated.
Elaborate.
Pets being treated like human beings.
Look, okay, I'm going to be very careful about this. Pets, I love nature, and all beasts and all animals should be respected. So I don't want to suggest that there should be any calling of any pet whatsoever.
The rat was referring to a play-by bunny.
Or a pet rock.
But I mean, it gets to the point where at the dinner table, yes, when the perception is, or the outlook is, my pet is a full human being at the same level as my family, as my children, in every sense of the definition. That's a bridge too far. Or more. That's a bridge too far.
What if it's an emotional support animal?
Generally, they know their roles.
So how do you distinguish? Excuse me. So how do I know that the
You're in my
golden
camera.
retriever, the golden retriever is having they're eating from a plate next to the humans at the table, at the brunch table.
He's got a jacket.
So how do I know that is to kind of
He's got a jacket which has a.
Oh,
which
it does.
says emotional
Okay.
support.
Well, no. The few times that I've seen this, they were not wearing jackets.
I know.
Thankfully, but I mean,
That's because they weren't outdoors.
Okay.
If it was raining, they'd be wearing a raincoat.
in the coat check room.
If
Right,
it was,
your jackets
if
are
it
in the
was
coat check
snowing,
room.
they would be wearing a coat.
Aki, just
Please.
because the word is pet peeve, you don't have to go on pets.
Well,
Go against the pets.
But is it
okay?
the pets he's going after or the pet owners?
both. The pet owners, absolutely, and the establishment, and
Don't go after the pets.
But what about the establishment? I mean, come on, what's the
friendly.
logic? What's the policy?
Pet friendly.
Pet friendly. Okay, on the ground, I suppose we can accommodate that. But at the table, taking a full seat at the table. Okay, so you're
There are cafes today in various regions of the world who charge
You're right. You're right.
charge extra
You're right.
for you to go have tea or coffee in the
with cats roaming around?
cats or pigs, baby pigs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and various other animals. Yes, absolutely.
I've had coffee
It's a thing.
with pigs.
It's not a brunch restaurant because they'd be bacon, as far as I'm concerned. I'm getting hungry.
Well, some are on the
actually.
plate and some are beside you.
Have you ever had suckling pig in Barcelona or in Spain? Oh my God, they're so good. little baby pig
that
that's been
doesn't
roasted
qualify as
for
a-
it's roasted so long that the bones kind of melt in your mouth.
Okay, now you're making me hungry. And by the way, we're here to talk about
pet peeves.
not succulent meals.
yeah.
You brought up
So
the pigs.
yeah, there's a whole. It's getting away from
But
us.
just to be clear, so our audience doesn't misinterpret.
I am
what we're
not
saying.
an animal
You're-
hater.
You're a pet owner hater.
I'm not a pet owner hater. I don't know how to define it, but at least like everything else,
Pet owners who treat their pets as if they were their children or better.
and consider them to be the equivalent to their children, absolutely, yes. Those people I think are deranged.
They piss you off.
They piss me off.
Okay. Can we see that vein pop?
oh my
Okay, there you
God.
go. All right. Do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
We experienced it.
Oh
so.
God, yeah.
You
we
know,
did.
can't you guys just be a little bit more understanding of people? I mean, seriously, of all the things that could disturb you, why in the world would a pet sitting at a table in a restaurant? Who gives a shit? Mind your own business. No.
It is my own business. It's a restaurant. It's
You don't have to look. Look elsewhere.
Okay, so let's go to
The dog's not shitting on the table.
Let's go watch the orchestra and have pet have a dog in the seats watching the orchestra
Well,
and
as long
barking and
as-
salivating.
As long as it's not barking, then
Nora,
why not?
It's a slippery slope. That's because
I'm sorry, but again,
Yeah.
I'm a libertarian
Okay.
in the sense live
So,
and
but-
let live.
yeah, but
if
Pepe-
you want to bring your pet and sit him next to you, and as long as he's not barking and disturbing,
What
or
about bring
taking
my
a shit,
ferret to the restaurant? Is that's also perfectly
if your
natural?
ferret is well behaved and is not going to provide any issues for any of the other
you're-
patrons, then why in the world would you impose your will on someone
Okay.
else?
There's,
Right.
it's not about imposing your will. There's norms in society.
No,
No, there's no norms in society. There we go. The
There-
jungle is upon us.
There are norms, but they change.
Listen.
Well, I
again,
don't like the change. It's a pet peeve when they change to that extent, to that extreme level.
Aki, come on. Why are you telling other people what to do? As long as it doesn't affect you personally,
Okay,
why
so-
would you tell someone
all
else
right,
what to
all
do?
right, so let's-
If are you going to now be against gay marriage, or are you against the trans
okay.
community?
You're really stretching now. You're stretching.
Well, all I'm saying, from my perspective,
Okay, so
I don't like other people to tell me what to do, and I don't like to tell other people what to do.
Okay.
as long as it doesn't directly
is that
affect me.
unconditional? Is that unconditional? Under all circumstances?
As I just said, I gave you the circumstance. As long as it doesn't really affect me. If I'm sitting at a restaurant and someone in a table down over there, 3 tables down, has a dog at the table, I'll look and I'll say, that's different.
So, Nora-
but it doesn't affect me. Why would I care?
So, Noran, you have no pet peeves.
I do have pet peeves.
So what are they?
But
What
that
are
one
they?
is not the one.
Okay, so tell us
But
what they
that
are.
wasn't yours. That was his.
That's right. So tell us yours.
No, but the reason I'm shitting on your pet peeve is
that's
because
fine.
again, I don't believe in telling other people what to do if
Okay,
it doesn't affect
okay.
me.
What is your pet
Okay.
peeve?
But in a way,
So-
you're telling him what to do or not do.
So you're
Yes.
okay with it? With
So you shouldn't.
okay.
Is that your
respect-
pet peeve?
You should respect the fact that he has a pet peeve.
I don't
So you
respect.
have-
I have no respect for that. Pet
So the left hand, the left lane driver, the tourist,
Yes.
that's driving, in a 100-kilometer zone that's doing 40 kilometers in the far left lane.
Yes.
Doesn't affect you. You're in the middle lane or you're in the far right lane.
No, it
But
does
is that-
affect
is that-
you because it's dangerous for
But it
the
doesn't
traffic.
affect you. What's
yes,
affect
it does.
you?
I'm behind him.
How do I know that the animal at the restaurant table has all their vaccinations? They're up to date with their vaccinations. How do I know that they're not going to be passing anything?
I thought you were an anti-vaxxer.
But Aki,
No, that's you.
Some of the people there may not be vaccinated either.
Yeah.
Well,
You might have measles going around in that
okay.
restaurant. Who
There
knows?
are. I mean, there's anti-vaxxers.
And by the
in our
way,
midst.
I respect the fact that it bothers you.
Well, what is it?
I'm
does
not
it
going to tell you what should or shouldn't bother you. It bothers you. It bothers you. It's
Yeah, pet peeves are personal.
Thank you for your civility, Pat.
I have another one. Can I? interject?
Absolutely,
Oh,
please.
I have another one.
I disagree. Oh, sorry.
And I want to hear
You can
yours. He
disagree,
still
but
hasn't
let me
shared
get it out
his.
first.
I did.
He shared one. You weren't listening.
Yeah, you weren't listening to what I
That's
said.
a problem. People who don't listen. No,
people-
that's,
that's
not
a pet
the, that's,
peeve.
not,
That-
that's not the one that came to mind.
Okay.
The one that came to mind, and it's a real pet peeve of mine, is women who believe that men are not entitled to an opinion on women's issues. In other words, you're a man, you have no right to opine on women's issues. Why is it because I'm a man that I can't have an opinion regarding women's issues?
Thanks for the man speak there, Pat.
Seriously.
He's mansplaining.
So, can you give an example of an issue?
Women's rights. So
Okay.
whether it's a woman's right to choose,
Okay.
whether she wants a child
Women's
or not.
sports.
So you're a feminist.
I don't consider myself a feminist.
Yeah, you're right.
Women's sports. Maybe you want
Actually,
to.
there's another pet peeve of mine.
Feminist.
The overuse of the word feminist in society.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, as far as I'm concerned, men and women should have equal rights. Feminist, the whole idea that they don't is bothersome to me.
Okay.
But I don't feel like I have to be a champion for the cause. But it does bother me when, I offer an opinion on an issue that specifically pertains to women, and a woman will tell me, you have no right to an opinion.
Okay. Well, that's
Like,
what
well-
Romeos are all
Well, no,
about, our opinions.
No, I say, you may not share my opinion, you may not like my opinion, but I am entitled to an opinion on any issue I choose to
So you
opine on.
feel entitled.
As far as opinions are concerned, yes, I do.
So you have a
And I'm not-
you have
I'm
a sense
not-
of entitlement, is what
On
you're
that
saying.
issue, yes. I don't have a broad sense of entitlement,
Okay. Just checking. I just wanted to make sure.
but I do, because entitlement is another issue.
Okay. So your pet peeve is people who feel that they're entitled, yet you feel entitled to your opinion.
No, not that they're entitled. My pet peeve,
I'm such an ass.
very specifically,
There's another word you can add to that, but we won't.
why bring holes into the equation? So just to be clear, Naran's going to try and confuse the hell out of it.
Yeah. Yes.
Women who believe that men should not have an opinion regarding women's issues.
Then you should also believe that men should not have a problem with women expressing opinions on
100%.
men's issues.
100%.
Perfect.
So it goes in both directions.
Okay.
Okay, you're consistent. That's great. Somewhat entitled, but consistent. That's fine.
Okay. How about another pet peeve? Lame sports TV interviews.
Yeah.
Right? It's
If-
right.
yeah.
Nothing original anymore.
No.
Nothing
What
original.
do you mean anymore? Was there a time in
Yeah,
your
you're
life?
right.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was a
Really?
time. Yeah. Muhammad Ali. The time of Muhammad Ali.
Okay,
there was somebody.
So you're going to name 3 athletes who, over the course of your 60 some odd years of existence, left you thinking, now that was an insightful comment.
I mean, don't you?
Generally speaking, cliches,
It's all cliches,
are
yeah.
part of the whole sports interview repertoire.
Oh, right. But
That's what it is.
But can't we move forward on that? Can't we change that? Why is it that? Why does everything still have to be so cliched in sports interviews?
Why do we have to interview athletes?
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares what they think?
Well, look at the popularity of sport, unfortunately, in our society.
But look, we have media converging on athletes after their team either wins or
not
loses,
only-
or they win or lose. Give me an opinion. Night after night after night. What more is there to say?
That's
So
it.
don't do it. So then do away with it. I don't know. Do away with it. But don't we have to put up with this. Oh well.
I don't have an issue with the athlete. I have an issue with the media who are constantly looking
that's
for
it.
sound bites.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And trying to push on hot button topics.
But it doesn't quite make the level of being a pet peeve for me personally.
Do you think you played your best?
I think I did.
Right?
I think right now I'm at the best I've ever been.
Yeah.
No, it's more the.
Oh, you weren't
know,
asking me. Sorry.
Oh, well, then you can answer.
We got to give 110%. Or it's like, okay, how many more cliches can we?
What
come
do you
up
think
with?
you have to do to beat this team? I just score more goals than they do.
Right.
Yeah, say,
How insightful.
But across the board, just I think the quality of news interviews. There's so much.
But
There's
So
so much.
these are pet peeves.
Yes, these are pet
but
peeves.
that's not just sport interviews.
I think
No,
media,
in general, you're
so
right.
I
You're
think
right.
media is a
Media-
pet peeve of mine. Just the way media has become opinionated, and it's no longer media. It's no longer news.
Absolutely.
So news has disappeared, and that is a pet peeve of mine. Now that I'm thinking about it, how things have become all opinion pieces, and it's super rare to have a newscast which just gives you the news. There was an earthquake in this part of the world. This is this many people have been displaced. This is what happened, and so on. Just give me the news. Don't tell me your opinion about it. When it comes to politics, oh my God, everything about politics is now opinionated. It's either left or right.
Pretty sure that topic has been covered in a ROMEO podcast.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. But that is a pet peeve of mine. Media and the way media has now just turned into opinion as opposed.
What
to
happened?
fact.
Just objective.
Objective.
Just the facts.
Just
ma'am.
the facts, ma'am. Yeah, exactly.
That's what you want to
Gone.
go back to.
Gone.
I could support
Gone.
that.
All
I could
gone.
support
One big pet peeve of mine is that I find people don't get involved. They see it wrong, they just ignore it.
Do you have any examples you can provide?
Yeah, I mean, it happened at a couple of years ago at McDonald's. Some guy was complaining that he wasn't getting his food, swearing at the staff. I mean, they're working hard. So I went up to him and go, how much did you pay for your meal? He says, it was like $13, $14. I go, if I give you $20, are you going to leave?
it. Oh wow! Oh, Dominic,
And what did he answer?
good for you.
No, because he says, I want my meal. I go, I'll give you $20. $7 more than what you paid.
Right.
Well, you
Good
leave.
for you.
He said, yeah. So I give him $20 and he left.
Oh, you must be the hero of the evening.
Well, people
Who
are-
got his meal?
He did.
No, I didn't know. Well, then his meal came out and somebody took it.
So I hope they thanked you. I hope they.
Yeah, I was there for coffee, so I did not want a meal. It's like, they're working hard. You can tell these young kids are working hard.
So after that story, it's impossible for me to say one of my pet peeves: people who go to fast food joints.
I go for coffee, so I mean, that's. But that to me, it happens. You see something wrong, nobody does anything. You just continue. I understand you don't want to get involved. You don't know what's going to happen. But if we all do that, it's all going to go to shit.
Yeah.
And it is. So.
Okay, that's a good one.
What's wrong? What about what do you have with fast food establishments and the people that go to fast food joints?
I just said I'm not going to raise it as a pet peeve of mine.
That's right. He said he would.
It just sounds like
Why is he?
I just
I don't know.
Sounds
He's
like
trying
holding back.
I don't
It sounds like you're holding back. That's all.
Am I the type to hold back?
He's trying to scratch at the scab. I don't understand.
Nothing there.
Nothing there.
Just let it heal, man.
He
Just let it
doesn't,
heal.
he doesn't want to upset any potential
Viewers or listeners, subscribers.
viewers or listeners or sponsors.
I'll share my opinion. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah. So okay. So anything else other than as long as it doesn't bother you, that's your criterion.
You know what? My major pet peeve in life are people who impose their will or their thoughts on other people. Leave other people alone.
So education is a big pet peeve for you. Education.
How did education come out?
Education's about.
It's about what?
It's
telling
about certain
people what to do.
philosophy, certain
Telling people what to do.
Well, part of it. Yes.
part of it, yeah.
Oh,
Part
give
of
me an
raising,
example.
part of raising children, what to do, what not to do.
That's why he's not married anymore.
But
he's still a dad.
Well, accounting for God's
still a
sake.
father.
I'm talking about adults. I'm talking about telling other adults.
Oh, so adult-
and imposing.
I see.
Imposing
In a
your
social-
will on
in a
other
social
people. In a
setting.
social setting.
In a
exactly.
social setting, I understand.
So it's like you saying, you've got to do this or you've got to. No, like you can't bring a dog into a restaurant.
So you're saying adults should not tell other adults what to do or not do.
If it's not directly affecting them, then they shouldn't.
Okay, so we're going to stop there because you're telling people what to do and not do.
Yes.
And I don't want you to contradict yourself.
All I'm saying, from my
Oh, it's a pet
perspective,
peeve.
It's a pet peeve. It's my opinion.
So not that they shouldn't do it or should do it.
It's
a pet
just
peeve.
my pet peeve when other people decide to impose their will on
others.
on society in general. Again, the whole Karen thing about, where's the manager? I need to, in the meantime, there's a lineup of 20 people behind you, waiting for a coffee or whatever. And, to your point, that person who's berating the staff in a McDonald's or whatever, just people should stop thinking they're the center of the world, they're the center of the universe, and everything revolves around them. That sense of entitlement just drives me nuts. Just live and let live.
So entitlement's a big one for me. I mean, I don't equate entitlement with everything you've just said, but when you mention entitlement, that's a huge pet peeve of mine. Society today is so bloody entitled.
And they behave that way, and that's what's killing me. Is how do you decide in your brain that I'm going to tell this individual what to do?
Okay, I've got another one. How about hoarding? When you go when there's a special on tuna, and these people
Toilet paper. Remember the toilet paper days?
Right. Okay, but there was that was special circumstances. But I mean, in general, these people that just hoard, right? Whatever the pasta's on special or the tuna's on special, they just go and they empty the shelves.
No.
And they fill their carts right to the brim.
Doesn't bother me in the least. Other than situations where, say, there's a pandemic or a crisis of
No,
some
that's I'm
kind,
not talking about
and there are people who are going to hoard
Normal
or are
circumstances.
going to empty the shelves for the
Yeah.
purpose of enriching themselves.
Yeah.
That I take exception
Definitely.
to. But otherwise, no. You want to buy on special? Go for it. You're planning. You're eating tuna for the next year.
Yeah,
or
but
pasta or
But usually usually those specials have like maximum 3 or 5 per person. Or
no,
something like that.
they don't.
Yeah, and if they don't, well, that's the store's
You
problem.
show up with a.
No,
Well, why is it a problem?
Well, it's the store's issue, not a problem. I used the wrong word.
Okay, do you need 5 years worth of tuna?
What
well,
does
that's
it
their
concern
issue.
you?
Why are you telling
Maybe
them what
they
to
do.
do?
Well, it's a pet peeve. That's the nature of a pet peeve. It's not all
Why are you
rational.
telling people
It is
what to
not-
do?
Pet peeve, by definition, is not all rational. It's a gut reaction.
The pet
Okay.
peeve is it's when on special. You go there, they don't have it.
That's
Spoken
because
like an
his guy went before.
That's a pet peeve. Absolutely.
That's right.
They tell you, the shipment didn't come in, but yeah, but
Give me a rain check.
you're
That's
not
all.
advertising it. Yeah.
I want to come back to your earlier comment and ask you, based on everything you mentioned, is cancel culture a pet peeve? It is for me, but is it for you?
Oh, definitely.
For all of us.
Definitely. It's so empty. It's bullshit. It's people in glass houses casting stones and it's just stop. No one is holier than thou. No one's above everyone else. So when you stand and you point fingers and it's like, oh, you did this and you did this and you 30 years ago you said this in a tweet, or well, there weren't tweets 30 years ago or whatever. An email came out that you said this thing when you were 17 years old and whatever. It's like, so therefore you must lose your job now and lose your livelihood because you're a racist or you're anti whatever or you're transphobic or whatever.
Well,
It's like, fuck off, all of these people.
the other side of the medal is that some people cannot be canceled, whereas some are easily canceled. Why is that? For example,
It's a good question, but generally in society today, there are very few people
yeah,
That are immune to cancer.
who are immune to.
I can name one. Woody Allen.
Expand on that. Some people may not know who Woody Allen
Oh,
is
Woody Allen
or
is-
what Woody Allen did.
New York filmmaker who
Comedian.
Who married his stepdaughter.
married his stepdaughter, who was much younger than him, obviously. And
But did he marry her when she was a minor?
no, it
No, but
doesn't
he
matter.
raised her from when she was minor.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's
This is his stepdaughter, for
You know,
God's sake.
why isn't this guy canceled? Some people have done way less than he
I don't think
has.
too many people know of him, so maybe he was canceled.
No.
No.
No?
He kept making movies
Oh, yeah.
afterwards.
You think he's still a celebrity?
Oh, yeah.
An A-list celebrity,
He,
Woody
walk,
Allen?
he
Okay.
walks in New York.
He didn't receive the Roman Polanski treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Or the Ron Huxtable. Bill Cosby.
Well, he's a different kind of sick person. But why guys like that don't get canceled? And some others, like Louis C.K. Okay, he's back. But, what he did was bad. But he didn't.
But very few people have that immunity.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But
Right? The
still,
majority of people today are subject to cancellation.
it's quite interesting that a guy like Woody Allen
Yeah.
was able to...
He basically fell through the cracks, I guess. I think what he did was before the cancel culture had hit.
Oh, of course.
And because it was before then, it's like people, became numb to it and then let it slide, so to speak,
And a lot of
because it was too late.
A lot of them got canceled for things they've done 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you're right. You're absolutely
out,
right. It's just somehow,
But, to marry your stepdaughter,
yeah, it's kind of gross.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're going off on a bit of a
Yeah.
tangent.
A little bit.
Exactly.
But do we agree that so cancel culture is a pet peeve for
Absolutely.
all of us?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a pendulum, right? And it's swung. And I think at this point,
Yeah, it's coming back.
it's coming back. I mean, you don't hear too much of this cancel shit as much as we used to. It grew into a fever pitch at one point where everyone's background was being, meticulously combed through to see if, oh my God, have you wronged anyone ever with any comment you've ever made over the past 15, 20 years? And that kind of washed its way out of our psyche, I think.
Yeah.
And people are not doing that.
And I have another one
What's that?
with employees that have had, those employees that can come up with every problem there is, but never one solution to offer. A little like socialists.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
not. It's
A
not
little like socialists. They can
little.
identify all the problems, but they only have one solution. Tax the rich.
There you go.
Yeah. And employees like that.
But it's not just employees.
No, I know. But
In life in general.
Yeah, life in general, but employees especially, because they're the ones that, are in your office, every 5 minutes
Complaining.
complaining. But they never have one solution because they know the solution.
But I'm willing to bet that if they're that way at work,
Oh, yeah.
they're that way outside
course.
of work as well.
Of course.
Here's what's wrong with society, but I have no ideas or suggestions on how to improve the situation.
Tax the rich.
Aki, what do you think?
Okay. Oversimplification.
Oh, you think we should tax the
but your
rich?
point about people, and I agree completely. Part of being a mature person is also, to be able to, yes, know what the problem is, but also be big enough to come up with some solutions and have a positive conversation. So if you're only bringing just problems, you're just, that's useless. That's useless.
And it's funny, it's the same employee that will say, I tried my best. Well, I'm not paying you to do your best. I'm paying you to do your job. But it's the same ones. Well, they give you their work. You say, what the hell is this?
So people with excuses, I mean, that's a pet peeve for
Well,
you.
it's not even an excuse.
No, the people who are continuously complaining and identifying problems or symptoms of problems
Yeah.
without offering any solutions or potential
Yeah,
solutions.
we all agree.
I would agree with
So
that.
I have a huge pet peeve that I just thought of. I have a huge pet peeve against stupid people. And when I say stupid people, I think I talk about people who do their own research, who think that they can grasp the intricacies of a topic because they read a few articles on the internet someplace, or who have found this guru that speaks the truth and so on.
Very close to anti-vaxxers now.
So
Yeah.
well, hold
Well,
on.
exactly.
Without singling out anti-vaxxers. So
Yes, we are.
I'm just.
I think we are.
You say stupid,
I say stupid.
but your description for me resonates much more with the concept of naivete, being naive. In other words, I believe if I read it, I believe it.
The reason I say stupid people, and I say that, I won't say tongue in cheek, but just go with me for a second.
Yeah.
People who don't have the ability to question what they're seeing, what they're reading, what they're watching, and who have no critical thinking or ability to have any level of critical thinking and can be swayed in an argument by a few articles, a few videos, a few people saying, "Oh, you heard about this? The vaccine is giving you a third testicle, so you shouldn't take it,
Or you should.
or you should."
Well, the people that are not a concrete example, I mean, those parents and the families that are not vaccinating their kids against measles.
Measles, whooping cough,
But
whatever.
that could be for religious beliefs.
Well,
But
that's
for
Religious
whatever, for whatever reason, religion or not, in
The
a
health
sense,
and well-being of your child and those around you.
But it's a belief. So
I understand.
You believe in science. There are people who are so deeply rooted in their religious beliefs and their faith that they'll say it's
you're
in
giving
God's
a counterpoint. All I'm saying is, for me, my pet peeve are people who don't have the ability or don't want to
Open
use some
mind.
critical thinking,
who can't.
who won't, who are too lazy to, and who just fall into whatever
Dogma.
rabbit hole that they're reading about.
Yeah.
And just wholeheartly go in there and believe now with all of their heart that they know something when what they know is nothing. There's no validity in it. There's no real science behind what they're talking about. But they believe they know it, and for them, no, this is my truth, and my truth is my truth.
Well, parallel.
Okay, but what you just described can apply to anyone
Yeah.
of religious faith.
Yes, I have no problem with that.
but parallel to
I think religion is garbage.
Yeah, we
parallel-
already had this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's let Don
parallel
go.
to what you're saying, it's those people that are supporting a cause and they're to do it. They have no problem impeding everybody else's life
Yeah.
doing so, blocking streets, blocking airports. For a cause. Yeah, it might be a good cause, but they're so pretentious.
I think
that
the
they-
bigger issue, and I come back to a point Nuran made, is all the people who are out supporting a cause that they know virtually nothing about.
Yeah,
They're just showing up because it seems to be the thing to do.
sadly.
Cause du jour.
Right.
Yeah. That
What about social parasites? That's a big one for me.
Ah, that's an interesting one. I agree. Yeah. Social parasites.
People who contribute absolutely nothing to society,
Yep.
right? But will suck the system and everyone in it dry.
Aki, what do you think?
Well, luckily, I don't think.
Do you think they exist?
Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. There's parasites, of course, in all species,
Okay,
including
but
in ours.
for you, they're like a very tiny, tiny, tiny minority, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There are
Whereas
some people.
perhaps for Pat, it's not just such a tiny minority.
Well, they're not in the majority.
Well,
No,
there you go.
the-
but
they can't-
it's a large
can't
enough segment of the population that I
Yeah.
observe it
Well-
and I find it
Yeah, they're schemers.
very annoying.
Right. I mean, we have a lot of schemers in our midst.
they act too on our system.
We can never escape that one.
No, we can't. But it's true. They're much bigger.
Yeah, and they're not just individuals. There's corporations as well. There's big organizations as well
It's
that I
because
would classify
governments
as
let them
parasites.
contribute to it. But
Well,
Monopolies, government monopolies
Last
are
time I
parasites.
checked, corporations are made of people.
yeah,
So
Well,
but it's a much bigger group. I agree with that. Much bigger group.
the corporations, Pat, and as you know, and I think you agree with me, the corporations, absolutely, that's not about, efficiency or profit. It's all about the great government connections and all the government subsidies and funds that they can collect.
yeah, it's personal relationships
Yeah.
being exploited.
Yep. So, guys,
Others.
I'm just wondering. So, we have a bunch of these pet peeves. Do we think that any of this stuff is going to get better over time, or is shit just getting worse over time? Because personally, I think things are getting worse over time.
Well,
Yeah.
but better or worse comes down to personal
Exactly.
perspective.
It does, but I think the entitlement is the reason why people are getting.
I'm going to come back to a point I've made repeatedly over the course of our conversations and episodes, and that is that I don't believe human nature has changed much at all.
No, exactly. Humans are shit.
Since humans have, populated this planet.
Yeah.
And so, no, I don't see any reason for it to improve or deteriorate other than it's going to change. But it's generally, when it's a pet peeve, it's going to show the worst of human nature.
Well, the problem I think, or I see, is that bad human behavior is actually rewarding to people.
Yes.
To some.
And that's and that's the problem. So if you're cutthroat, if you are the one that's going to jump in line in front of someone else, is going to elbow someone out of your way to get the critical resource that you want, that other people want as well, but you're the one that's going to go and get it first, faster, better, whatever, generally you're going to be more successful than someone who is more passive.
Take that bus lane.
unless there are repercussions.
Well, exactly. So from a law as long as you're not breaking the law, but you're just being a terrible human being, and you get rewarded for being a terrible human being.
Well, no, legal repercussions perhaps are more black and white.
You want to talk about this?
But,
Sure.
but Dominic made a point earlier about people observing wrongs and no one is stepping in to right the wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's more that. Generally, whether it's ethical or unethical behavior or just inappropriate behavior,
Cutthroat
as opposed to illegal behavior.
Cutthroat behavior.
And if somebody acts a certain way and there are no repercussions, no negative repercussions, for sure they're going to continue behaving the same way.
Yeah.
Well, that's my point, and that's why we're seeing so much bad behavior, because first of all, there are no repercussions.
But it's always been true.
And somehow these people are getting ahead or getting better treatment or
You don't think
better
that's
results.
always been true?
I agree.
I think people used to get involved a little more before.
Nah, I'm not sure about
What
that.
do you have anything to support that? Or is it
Yeah, I
just,
know, but I just felt that,
Maybe in small town environments where
I
people
don't know,
knew each
maybe,
other
but-
more, but in a city environment where you don't know.
I'll say,
anyone-
I'll
I
say
think people are afraid now.
well, this is maybe one of the good things about social media. I think now that everything is recorded,
There's something good about social media.
Well, when everything's recorded, so when you have incidents, I don't know. Doesn't it deter people? Doesn't it? Doesn't it mobilize
just
people?
because it appears on video doesn't make it real.
Yeah, they could be set up as well.
No, but I mean, if for example, I'm talking about, one example is when the police they overstep, and it's recorded, right? So there you have recourse.
It depends. So
So you're anti-police, is that what you're saying?
Well, you fuck off.
So I want to.
I am not anti-police.
I believe in our men in blue.
Defund the fuckers. No. Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
He's unhinged. He's completely unhinged.
I knew where he was going, so then I just went there before he got there.
What did this guy do with Aki?
I don't know what happened to
Where are
that.
you?
Please.
So I see a 10-second or 15-second clip of an officer engaged in what appears to be inappropriate behavior.
No, 10, 15-second clip is not what
Well,
I'm talking about.
that's what people are living on.
I'm talking about
today.
people now taping,
No,
like,
people are on social media
full
living
incidents.
with 10 and 15-second clips.
Yeah.
Let me finish my point. I draw conclusions from what I see on that 10 or 15-second clip. I have no idea what preceded it.
Yeah.
I have no idea
Yes.
what led to that particular situation.
you're-
but I'm drawing conclusions
Right.
from it.
But that's not about. Yes,
You know,
there
it's
is that.
not dissimilar to what you were describing earlier.
No.
I don't have sufficient information to really have an opinion.
Yeah. All I'm saying is.
Yet you incite riots with that 15
No, but
second
100%.
clip,
Right, but
Very
it's
easily.
more than 15. Most of the real inflammatory stuff that happened was more than 10, 15-second clips.
No.
But yes, your point is well taken. That there is that as well.
My earlier point was just because you see a video clip, and frankly, I don't care if it's 10 seconds or an hour long, it doesn't mean that it's real.
Okay,
It
the
could
George
be-
Floyd
it
video
could be-
was real.
Okay, George Floyd is a different. You're giving one example of something that is real.
Yeah.
At the same time, there are countless examples of things that are not entirely real.
Yeah, that are set up and so on.
Yeah.
Just be careful what conclusions you draw when you have limited data available to you.
Absolutely. But my initial point was up there. My big point here was that I think social media exposes a lot more. There's a lot more transparency. So transgressions and unacceptable behavior, we're more attuned to it and we react to it more. We have more concrete proof. That's all that I'm saying.
But Aki, everywhere around the world today, there are conflicts. Some more serious than others, but there are conflicts everywhere. And people take a side without necessarily informing or educating themselves. What are they relying on? Snippets of information. You know, a minute here,
Yes.
5 minutes there, 10 seconds here, right? TikTok, Facebook, whatever other social media I may consume. And that forms my whole opinion on a subject that's extremely complex, maybe rooted in a history that dates back
Absolutely.
hundreds of thousands of years, which I know
Absolutely.
absolutely nothing about, yet I have an opinion.
But
and I'm participating in some social
but the,
expression of anger.
the two coexist, Pat. That's what I'm saying. The two coexist. There's that what you're raising and what I'm raising as well in terms of transparency.
Okay.
The two coexist.
Okay.
So, guys, what problem have we solved today?
None.
Because we still have cyclists and bike paths.
Are we here?
Oh, bike paths and cyclists. Holy shit, you got the good one.
Hey, go.
Is that a pet
Dominic,
peeve?
go.
Bike- yeah,
I was
pet
going to say
peeve.
you open the door, but
Sorry.
really it's a floodgate.
Cyclists.
Knock yourself out.
The entitlement of cyclists.
It's not the cyclists I'm angry
I
with.
know, the bike paths. But, you know.
And the governments that allow all this
look,
shit.
I don't
It's
mind.
the governments.
I don't mind the cyclists when they're using the bike paths.
And following the rules of the road.
So ones that are not using the bike paths, and then they think they own the road
And the sidewalks.
and the sidewalks and everything. Screw that.
Now, don't get me started on the people also, the drivers that start driving on the shoulder. Now, that's becoming very common. So you're on the highway now, the shoulder was nobody, well, you would have your traffic jam, but nobody would dare go on the shoulder, correct? Now it's so commonplace.
Entitlement.
Entitlement.
Right.
Going through red lights.
Going through red
Entitlement.
lights.
Yeah.
No more, everything is a rolling stop.
Yeah.
There's no more respecting stop
Entitlement.
signs.
Entitlement.
Hey, we can boil everything down to
Exactly.
entitlement.
Yeah.
Screw the bus lanes.
Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah. Look, I'm not doing anything to impede a bus. There's no bus. It's just a free lane.
So yes, our friend Dominic here avails himself of the bus lane,
Oh,
the reserved bus
hopefully
lane.
there's no cops watching this.
Okay, so guys,
We support our men in
we've-
blue.
We've shared a number.
They fund the fuckers. Oh no,
We've
no.
shared a number of pet peeves.
Yeah.
We've had a
We
nice
haven't
discussion.
solved a damn problem.
No.
They're pet
But it was
peeves.
very
And we're
therapeutic.
unapologetic. Well, for you, clearly. My
Very
goodness.
therapeutic.
Well, try and get the real Aki back. Don't
Yeah,
worry,
yeah.
folks.
I think the demons have come out.
And we'd love to hear about your pet peeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know. What are your thoughts?
Maybe we can talk about some of them.
Maybe.
Maybe fix some issues. Who knows?
Wouldn't that be a pet peeve? You submit a topic for discussion and the Romeos completely ignore it?
We would never
We won't ignore
ignore
it. We won't.
anyone's.
So submit ideas.
Exactly.
And please don't clean out your sinuses in the gym shower.
Oh, there you
gosh,
go.
there's
Or dry your junk with the hand clean air or whatever.
Okay, like too many mental images here. All right, thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you
Thank
again
you.
next week.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Take care, guys.